Hey everyone. I've recently been on a binge watching videos on streamers, specifically about controversies surrounding some of the biggest ones on Twitch and Kick. The main reason is because if you're a streamer and you blow up, you end up with way more money than you probably ever had before. And from that point, I don't really have to explain how this leads to people making bad decisions, or maybe wanting to start more, to the point that they steal money from their own fans. Not every streamer controversy revolves around money, but most of them do. The closest branch to that is controversy about NFTs, which is basically just money as well, but even worse because the amount of companies behind it are very shady. But most big streamers have been sponsored by some kind of crypto, so it's not a big surprise that they don't really end very well. So in this video, there will be a couple of stories similar that are pretty interesting to learn about.
Did Slicker pay you back?
No.
How much does he owe you?
I have 7K, I think.
From defrauding cancer patients to crypto pump and dumps, there's no ends to what some Twitch streamers are willing to do to make a quick payday. So today we'll be talking about some of the biggest degenerates to come from the platform. Abraham Mohammed, better known by his online moniker It's Slicker, is an Arabic Twitch streamer from the United Kingdom. Originally gaining popularity through appearing on live streams hosted by The Austin Show on Twitch, Slicker managed to accrue his own dedicated fan base during the year of 2019, amassing just under 200,000 followers on the platform. Commonly streaming games such as CSGO, as well as just chatting, he'd continue to keep building an online presence, eventually reaching 430,000 followers by 2022. But while things look great on the outside, Abraham would eventually find himself in hot water with both fans and peers alike. It all started to go downhill on September 17th, 2022, when a video was leaked by Twitch user Michael P of Slicker requesting money from fans after allegedly being locked out of his bank account for the last 3 to 4 days. In fear of his credit score dropping, Slicker resorted to asking for donations, promising he'd pay back anyone he borrowed money from within the next 2 months.
He got locked out and I was looking for people that actually worked.
I think I might know this guy because I remember hearing about him borrowing money from his fans and then not paying it back.
It would then be reposted to the livestream fail subreddit by the user Days End at Dusk, where it would immediately gain even more attention. Under the post, another Redditor would share additional Discord logs between Slicker and fans requesting funds for various reasons, including paying bills and buying a plane ticket for his mother. All would follow the same manuscript. The streamer would typically ask for their age, check if they had a form of income, and then proceed to ask them for any donations they could contribute.
Now I really want to see how much money he asked them for.
The one linked in the original post, all following close to the same dialogue. In special instances, if people denied Slicker money, he'd pull out a real document from Bluestone Credit Management as evidence to supposedly prove that he was facing troubles paying his taxes.
So he said, I got you on my mama.
Oh, it's Coffeezilla. Oh shit. Go back. I just saw the profile picture of Oompaville as well. You're pretty fucked if you've got Coffeezilla and him on your case.
From Bluestone Credit Management in order to show how much he was in trouble or whatever.
Reddit user Opposed Dog would also go on to recount their own experience with Slicker, saying, quote, he uses sympathy tactics to manipulate his viewers, saying he has tax problems / his parents need help, and that he would promise to pay back your money with a bit more in a short time. He still hasn't paid people back. At this point, I doubt he cares, as he's stolen a lot of money, roughly 100 to 200k. Following the release of the Reddit post, multiple big
Surely
Twitch
at that point his fans would realize, okay, I'm not going to give any money to him now. 100, that much, even over. I first thought he was going to borrow at least around 10k, but that's quite a lot. I think it's one of those situations where when you're in a Discord group with him, it makes you feel bad for him, therefore you kind of want to give him some money, and then after you give him some, a little bit, he keeps on harassing you for more and more, which is why it builds up so much. That's so much money. I want to find out who the top donor was. It's not really a donor if you're practically stealing from them, because they didn't. I'm sure they never got it back. I guess we'll see in the video.
To share their account of being scammed by him, including the likes of Ludwig, Trainwrecks, and Just a Minx.
He just said he was in a super urgent need. He sent me a bunch of screenshots of a bank account.
I thought it was only me he was asking money from.
I know.
With all this information finally coming to light, it begged the question, where was the money that Abraham collected from these victims going? Well, people wouldn't have to wait too long to get their answer. On September 18th, 2022, Slicker would go live on Twitch to address the allegations made against him. But instead of denying the claims, he instead admitted to scamming money from streamers and fans to fund his crippling gambling addiction, which began with CSGO skins, and eventually evolved into actual money, getting to the point where he gambled away all of his Twitch earnings. Slicker's original intention was to use the money he collected to wager more and pay off further debts. But of course...
Yeah, now I definitely know this guy. I remember gambling being a pretty huge role in the story. So does that mean like the whole first part of him like buying stuff for his mom, like the plane ticket and paying for bills, was that part true, or was it just like a huge cover-up? So he actually gambled all the money that he got from his fans?
To the hole he dug himself into. But since the jig was up, there was no way out. He had no choice but to publicly apologize to those who were affected by his actions, promising to finally right his wrongs, even if it took him, quote, until he was 90. That same day, following Slicker's own livestream, he would also appear on air with fellow
That's
Twitch
practically
users
nothing, because at that point, people who actually gave you the money probably will forget about it. So you are still like kind of taking from them, even if you pay it back after all that time.
Over $7,000 was someone who was going through chemo treatment. Even with the stunning display of generosity, Abraham still proceeded to press this individual for more and more money, despite knowing their cancer diagnosis.
Did Slicker pay you back?
No.
No.
How much does he owe you?
I slept in K, I think.
CoffeeZilla would drop a video on September.
That's probably one of
19th,
the most money he got from that person.
Slicker, alleging that over
That really makes me feel
55
like if 7K was the most that he got from one person, I'm guessing he did actually like hundreds of people. But at the same time, he probably didn't give a shit about like how much it was. As long as you gave some, it was fine. But if he could press you for more, he probably did.
people had been scammed out of an estimated $384,000.
Holy shit.
But thankfully,
Is that the
this
actual?
story
Is that the actual amount, as opposed to like the first one in Reddit, where it was more like an estimate?
does have a happy
400,000.
ending, as all the victims of the gambling addicted streamer would be paid back what they were rightfully owed thanks to Ludwig and XQC. Slicker's actions would also have a ripple effect across Twitch as a whole, as not too long after these events unfolded, the platform officially banned the streaming of unlicensed gambling sites, specifically those that dealt in cryptocurrency. But this is unfortunately only
Oh,
one
maybe
of
that's why
many
he got so much money because of crypto. That makes sense. I think gambling and crypto has to be the worst combination to have.
among the most notable and controversial streamers of the last few years, receiving
Yes, Aiden
multiple
Ross.
bans on Twitch and being part of the first wave of major online personalities to move to Kick. He's no doubt a key player in the streaming space in spite of his less than stellar reputation. While originally considered a brand risk by Kick upon first signing to the platform, he'd
Is that
go
really
on
his
to
bio?
shatter
Sup, kid named Aiden, just trying to make it one day.
their
Aren't you a grown-ass man?
amassing an audience of over 300,000 at the peak of one of his broadcasts. Streaming records aside though, Aiden also hasn't been shy about his interest in cryptocurrency, with his Ethereum wallet having seen well over $35 million in assets pass through it.
No, fuck me, never mind.
Of where this money came
I doubt it's still that much now because of the crash, but that's still pretty
We'll
good.
look into today first ignited when Aiden did a sponsored stream on May 26, 2021.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just what is this website? It's like a MILF dating site, but you can put your crypto wallet to pay for a service.
MILF token
What
to
the
his,
fuck?
at the time, 75,000 live viewers, with the subsequent now deleted tweet being made announcing a giveaway of $10,000 worth of the coins to one lucky viewer. However, following the campaign, the cryptocurrency's value would plummet by a staggering 94% in just a few short days. To make matters worse,
Oh my god, that is pretty shitty. So you gave him $10,000, but in the crypto amount. So that is so shitty. Because who knows? Maybe he just bought it at a really cheap price, and then I guess at the peak when it got the most valuable, then he sold it off to whichever fan it was. That's pretty shitty. Just give him money. Because even 10,000 isn't that much. If you got 35 million from a crypto wallet, surely it'd be better if you give him cash. I want to see where this goes, because people definitely got pissed about this.
situation live on air.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a while back, I already told you guys don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a f. I hope none of you guys actually.
He got paid back. That's good. I'm happy.
Of being involved in a potential pump and dump scheme, Aiden would later be
Oh yeah,
on the
probably was a
industry
pump and dump. Yeah.
where he'd shed some light on the situation. While he did admit to being paid roughly $200,000 to promote the coin, he defended himself by referring to the promotion as a really bad promo. So bad, in fact, that the token's price significantly dropped, claiming that if it was intended as a pump and dump, it didn't work.
I'm not surprised, because if there's any person that would devalue your product if you sponsor them, it would be Aiden Ross.
Later on, though, the YouTube crypto scam sleuth CoffeeZilla would soon reveal a crucial insight that would cripple Aiden's defense. He argued that the impact of the MILF token promotion was more about the trading volume rather than the coin's price, benefiting those who wanted to exit their positions. On the day Aiden did the sponsorship, the token saw $19 million more in trading volume. In other words, the plan worked perfectly in allowing certain individuals to profit. This incident happened in the wake of a growing trend of influencers engaging in cryptocurrency schemes on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, with other examples including Save the Kids token, backed by the likes of RiceGum and former FaZe Clan members, and Logan Paul's infamous Crypto Zoo. But cryptocurrency is not.
I think Crypto Zoo is one of the funniest investments he ever did. He did a lot of shitty business stuff, but that Crypto Zoo is probably one of the funniest. But it's scary, like how much control some streamers have or influencers when it comes to crypto, because they can really like completely change the value of one crypto, not just purely because of like how many people they can get you buy it, but also because of like how volatile it is in general. But those two factors combined can really fucking like shake up whatever crypto they promote.
Julien, better known as Anis13k, was a popular French Twitch streamer with over 80,000 followers, who was best known for his gambling and charity streams he'd host in support of the French Association of Multiple Sclerosis, an organization that treats patients who suffer from MS, a serious disease in which the immune system eats away at the protective covering of nerves. Julien would do,
and there's no better way to promote that charity by gambling. Hell yeah.
More than 10,000 euros. This cause was very close to his heart, as his father was suffering from the same disease. While Julien had been collecting donations from his viewers under this guise, the actual truth of where the money was going would soon come to light.
Is that Dacia?
Some viewers
Hell yeah.
became suspicious when they pointed out after each charity stream, Julien's lifestyle would seemingly become more lavish. And on December 30th, 2019, an anonymous Twitter user by the name of Reveal Truth would expose the French broadcaster in an extensive thread pointing out various instances of him allegedly lying about where the donations he was collecting were going. More notably, the user would share a recording of a call with the AFSEP, in which they revealed that they never received anything from Anis13k. In the same thread, they would share a tweet made by Julien.
It blows my mind that like how dumb these people are, because your fans will always check up on what kind of charities you donate. Plus, as you mentioned, he did say like his lifestyle got better after the charity streams, so it's not like people didn't go, oh wow, all of a sudden he's got more money now, or that's good for him. Surely if you're that money hungry, you just put it in the bank and then wait like a year, well, after you've done like doing the charity streams, so people wouldn't notice. But I'm guessing this guy couldn't just wait. He wanted to spend those good euros.
Euros was raised and donated to the charity, sharing screenshots of the organization's donation page as proof. But Reveal Truth would point out the fact that the actual amount donated was never actually shown. To many onlookers, this was definitive proof that none of the supposed money ever reached its intended destination. Faced with an overwhelming amount of evidence against him, Julien would take to Twitch on January 2nd, 2020, where he admitted his guilt and explained the reasons behind his actions. During the 26-minute broadcast, he confessed that he had not...
I don't want to pause the video, I just did pause the video, but I love how the streaming culture, you can still tell it's strong in other countries. I don't speak French, I can't read French, but I can tell already that it's just the cringiest Twitch chat ever.
Made the right decision. and that while at first he didn't have any ulterior motives, envy of other successful streamers had driven him to misuse the donations. In other words, Julian expressed his regret by saying, "The first year when I organized a charity marathon, I did it without any ulterior motives. I really wanted to donate the money to the association, but besides that I had trouble with money. Tax problems, credit problems. When this amount of money came in, it crossed my mind and I didn't make the right choice. The following year, I did the same. I saw the other streamers' progress on Twitch. They had crazy gear and everything, and I wasn't jealous, but I was envious." He additionally noted that since the time of the post coming out, he'd made contact with AFSEP in an attempt to make amends and find a way to finally pay them their dues. President of the organization, Jocelyn Nouvegier, who was made aware of the scandal just a few days after Julian's confession, would comment publicly on the matter. She stated she felt embarrassed about the whole thing, and was currently weighing the pros and cons when it comes to prosecution. While admitting that Julian made contact with her, she still had doubts that he'd actually follow through on his promise of repaying the organization. The same day, the official AFSEP Twitter account would also comment publicly. "Thank you to the entire Twitch community for supporting us with Anis 13K. We know that this in no way represents the goodwill of French streamers. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the volunteers of the association as well as from all our members. Strength to you." The details become a little murky after the events of the scandal. While Anis 13K was banned on Twitch just 4 days after he admitted his guilt, he'd still continue to stream on other platforms like YouTube occasionally, before stopping in early 2022 and privating all of his content. Darren Watkins
It's really
Jr.
sad because Actual Speed, hell yeah. It's really sad because that does seem like a really small charity. So the fact that it finally got shown by like a pretty big streamer, I'm guessing, must have been heartbreaking when he realized like, oh wait, we haven't received any of the money that he raised in stream. He just used it. And both of his reasons for taking the money is pretty shitty. The first one, you could slightly empathize with him because he's struggling with money. Still not a good reason. But even then, the second reason was even worse. When you see other streamers and you wanna be like them with all the gear. I've never understood this desire to have really good high quality gear, especially if you're streaming, because most big streamers I know have like the worst setup possible that they never change. Because people who tune in to watch the streams don't watch you be like, oh my god, look at that setup, that microphone, that PC, and that light. It doesn't really matter as long as people find you entertaining. You don't really have to like make a huge difference. Of course, if you have like shitty quality gear, like if people can't do like your cheap headset mic, that's pretty shitty, but as long as it's decent, you don't only have to sink in a lot of money to buy all the stuff you want. But either way, both his defenses seem pretty lazy. I just feel like he just wanted that money and he tried to scrape up any possible defense he could muster.
Better known online by his persona, IShowSpeed, needs almost no introduction, boasting over 20 million subscribers and being the largest streamer across all of YouTube. He's made quite a name for himself on the internet, to the point where most people in the online space are aware of his existence even if they don't watch his content. Infamous for his melodramatic rages and freakouts, he has also been no stranger to controversy throughout his relatively short time in the spotlight. On November 16th, 2022, Speed would do a sponsored stream dedicated to promoting the crypto and NFT project known as Paradox Metaverse, a blockchain-based video game. Some viewers immediately became suspicious when they saw the campaign was backed by individuals such as Emilio Talio and Faisal Tariq.
No, not Emilio Talio. I have no idea who that is.
Allegedly shady business practices. To make the story even stranger, this broadcast was originally promoted by Speed as the live stream where he'd finally meet his idol, world-renowned soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo. But when viewers tuned in, Speed's guest
Can I just say, I remember this stream because when I saw a picture of it on his Twitter, I'm like, oh my god, he finally met Ronaldo. I never gave a shit about Speed, but I saw it was pretty cute that he met Ronaldo. And then when I showed a friend the picture, he was like, that is not Ronaldo. And I looked back at my phone like, yeah, you're right, that's not Ronaldo. How fucking dumb am I?
Turned out to be a Ronaldo lookalike wearing a shirt promoting Paradox. Viewers quickly became furious with Speed after being misled, and began to spam that he was a scammer and a sellout in the live chat. In an attempt to remedy the situation, the young streamer would temporarily mute his mic while he tried to figure out his next step.
Yeah, and then he left it on mute, yes.
The phone had not actually been shut off. While Speed would later try to...
I love this story because it does fit in with his character of Speed being goofy. It does actually feel like a Hollywood movie plot where, oh my god, I left the mic unmuted, oh no, they heard everything. It's so funny.
Admitting regret for taking the Paradox deal, saying he made a mistake. Some viewers chose to forgive Darren for his actions in this situation, seeing as he was only 17 years old at the time. But many others claim that his age was irrelevant. At his size, he had a responsibility to use his platform ethically.
Yeah, I'm sure they paid him pretty good. For 17 and you're making that much money, I wouldn't blame you. But there were definitely better ways that he could have approached it, during the aftermath, making a better apology. From what I remember, he barely gave an apology. He said, yeah, sorry. That's barely it.
As Ali. Amassing a smaller follower count of just a little over 13k, she mainly streams the game Path of Exile, a free-to-play online RPG, which is where her alleged scams took place. You see, in the Path of Exile community, it's very common for viewers to let streamers gamble their in-game cards for them on stream purely to see their reactions and boost engagement. If the content creator wins, the cards will be returned to the fan who donated them. If they lose, the cards are lost. On September 19th, 2023, while streaming some Path of Exile card gambling, Ali would trade with a viewer named LF4Leechers in order to gamble. After the risk paid off and the rare items were acquired, however, Ali would only give the subscribers some of their items back, keeping the missing items as payment for their carrying out the service.
I will take one as payment for using Ali's services. Thank you.
I want to see where this goes, because so far this seems like the pettiest one compared to the previous ones that had pretty big money backed up behind them.
Path of Exile players can buy, sell, and trade in-game.
I feel like this is gonna quickly crash down into her taking people's money.
Almost 4,000 upvotes, with the community collectively turning against her for her actions.
No. If you have Reddit against you, you're fucked.
By claiming that
they will skin you alive.
Two people. The original victim, LF4Leechers, and her friend Alex. She went on to state that, in both instances, they were okay with it, claiming that the former, LF4Leechers, had backtracked. Having just woken up from her nap when the drama spread across the community, she immediately reached out to the victims apologizing and explaining her side of it all, offering to give the card back if they so wanted. But the victim refused, stating that the hate she was now receiving was the justice for her actions. Ali would end her post by saying she was sorry for the way things played out, and that because of the situation being brought into the public eye, she was now receiving death threats from various Path of Exile fans. This is a common trope for online creators that are trying to avoid full accountability. In the eyes of the community, this did little to fix the situation, and the over 1,000 downvotes her post received clearly reflected that. In the aftermath, while Ali was not banned on Twitch, she would be permabanned, blacklisted, and unpartnered on the Forbidden Trove, after an investigation found her guilty of stealing on numerous other occasions, with people in her own circle testifying that events like these happened quite frequently, but no one spoke out about it due to her influence in the community. Georgie Karam.
Yeah, so far that seems pretty tamed compared to the last ones. Yeah, I feel like that story should have been at the beginning, and then proceeded like the damage getting more and more expensive, with the first guy borrowing almost $500,000.
Made a name for himself in both the gaming and live stream space. Prior to this though, Georgie was formerly a part of the well-known creator group Offline TV back in 2017, where a series of events would occur that would cause him to develop a great disdain towards the organization. On June 19th, 2023, during a live stream, Pokey would share the story of why he parted ways with Offline TV. Describing it as a movie story, he recounted how his American...
There's a projection in the background.
While he was a part of the group.
I guess that's kind of cool.
With only a few months left to legally stay in the country, Pokey would travel back to his hometown in Canada with the intention of returning to Los Angeles in a month for BlizzCon, and he requested that OTV keep his spot in the meantime, to which they agreed. However, upon his return to LA, Pokey would find that OTV had not only seemingly revoked his spot in the group with no prior notice, but had also given his room to Disguised Toast, another Twitch streamer. Pokey expressed his immense frustration, feeling betrayed by the organization he considered family, especially given his young and relatively new status in the industry. This wouldn't be the only allegation of Offline TV taking advantage of Georgie either. Earlier in 2020, during a broadcast on the Soda Poppin' channel, the Scorn streamer had talked about how, after leaving his former group and moving to TSM, he discovered that the organization had used his name to secure sponsorships, specifically with the computer company HTC. With these claims in hand, Georgie expressed frustration with how OTV had seemingly profited off his name without his consent, calling it a scam. This was during the height of Pokey's popularity, having struck big by being one of the first major streamers to play VR chat with his audience. Businesses like HTC were looking to partner with creators in the virtual reality space, which OTV decided to take advantage of by pretending to still be associated with Pokey. This thereby prevented the streamer himself from being able to secure his own deal with HTC when he reached out to them. While Georgie didn't give a specific timeline for these events while recounting the story, they seem to have taken place in early 2018, as HTC's sponsorship announcement with Offline TV was posted on their YouTube channel in May of that year. Still, it's worth noting that the current management at Offline TV was not responsible for these actions, and Pokey clarified that the situation occurred with the organization's previous management, Chris Chan, not that one, an individual who had been accused of sexual assault by other Offline TV members, among other things. So there you have some of the most questionable news stories.
That was a good video, but I definitely feel like the first half was way more interesting compared to all the money behind it. I'm sure with that story of the girl in the game taking people's items, if I play the game, surely the whole story would have more weight to me. But compared to when you borrow and that crypto scam stuff, when you borrow that much money, it does feel much more dangerous. I don't know why, but I've kind of been on a binge of Twitch streamers, like just watching videos about them, like the live stream kill I did recently. That's what was pretty interesting. I feel like streaming in general just like attracts the most detestable people you can, and the second they become successful, they do the shittiest thing just for money. Like that French guy, I'm sure he's always had like a greed to have more money and have like better gear for streaming, like he said, even though I feel like that was more of a cover-up. And it was just that one time that once he started getting pretty big with that whole charity stream, he wanted to take advantage of it, because I'm sure he got donations from the fans, but this was the first time he had that much come all at once. And it's kind of dangerous, because when you blow up and you suddenly get all this money, especially if you never had it that much before, it does get to your mind very quickly and you immediately spend it on the dumbest shit you can imagine. And then when your fans find out like how you waste your money, and then also realizing that you might have taken it from somewhere else, they will turn on you. Not to mention, having a pretty dedicated fan base is pretty bad as well, because that's what leads to people to like giving them money and feeling bad for them, but just keep watching the streams because they actually like the content and they want to see them get better. But some streamers do reach a point where they don't want to become different and they just want to keep on being the way they are until they realize like their streaming career is dead because no one watches them anymore, which is pretty sad. But to be honest, that is like most careers where after you get pretty big, you start losing the passion for the thing you're doing because you loved it so much when you're starting, but now you don't really care. But it still doesn't change the fact that I love seeing these stories, because man, some of them are like interesting from like how fucked they are. It's actually kind of sad.
Too bad you had to did it to your own self. My rebellion, retaliate. I had the whole New York state aiming at your face at the gate. Bottom line off top, soon as you came through. Shots blew, don't even know the half of my crew. I got 100 strong arm niggas ready to rock the shit.